I have, well, because I'm on the port phone, so I'm trying to pull up the meeting agenda phone so I can use both.
Do you want me to? Let me know if you can't, and I'll try to.
Oh no, I'll get it. Commission meetings.
Special meeting February or Friday, 12:13 p.m.
We ready to get started?
Yes, we are.
All right, today is April 20th, 2024, 12:36 p.m. This is a special commission meeting. Can I go ahead and get roll call? We're not virtual. We're not doing Pledge of Allegiance, right?
Not today.
Okay.
So President Larang is excused. Vice President Clute.
Here.
Commissioner Nance.
Here.
Okay. Commissioner Peterson.
Here.
Commissioner Tweet.
Here.
All right, thank you, Carrie Ann. Are there any modifications, additions, or changes to the agenda?
I'd like to make a slight modification to 2A, change that to approve the purchase of sewer lift stations not to exceed $40,492. Most of the procurement process has already occurred, so it would just be the purchase itself.
Okay. All right, change noted. All right, so first item on the agenda and only item on the agenda is the business action items to approve the purchase of the sewer lift stations and scope of work not to exceed $40,492. So over to you. Do you want to give us background on this before we vote?
I do. I'll let Parker give a quick rundown on it. I'll just speak to the financial piece of it. This is not something that was foreseen in this year's budget. We have found the funds for it in a different line item under maintenance. So we do have the funds available to us. This does exceed my authority, which is currently $5,000 for items that have not been approved or are budgeted. So we'll let Parker take it away.
All right. So the port is undertaking a project to procure 2 new sewer lift stations. This is critical infrastructure to the entire marine park area, from the visitor center parking lot east, which would service the marina pump out, it would service the stern wheeler pump out, and then the services the visitor center on both sides. It is a system that's 2 pumps. During the January 13th storm, our main pump number 1, froze and cracked, and it's no longer usable. That pump is no longer in production, so we couldn't find a replacement cover and rebuild for the pump itself. Pump number 2 was on kind of its last leg, serving as the backup pump for pump number 1, and pump number 2 started to have electrical issues intermittently and would overheat or would do something to trip the fuse every time it would start to pump out any real amount of fluid. So Hurley Engineering came in and put us in 2 temporary pumps, and we have been using those at, I can't remember the dollar amount, but I think it's $30 a week. They've been very generous in it and putting those out here for us. It's a good deal for us and has left us through the time we've needed. And we've reached out to a few other contractors for quotes. Those contractors decided not to provide a quote. This is a timely manner. We need these up and running for the stern wheeler reopen. As soon as the stern wheeler starts pumping out their gray tanks, they will need these pumps, and they want them to be functioning great. And then the Ixtapa opening as well. If you guys have any questions, I'd be happy to answer them.
Yeah. How old were the older former pumps? What's the expected?
The older former pumps, I think, were there. The original pumps that were there.
Okay. So the expected lifespan is probably what, 20, 30 years?
I would believe so, yeah. Somewhere near there.
And then we have some sort of warranty on these pumps?
No, none that I know of.
On the ones that are coming, will there be a warranty of some sort?
On the new ones?
The new ones, will there be a warranty of some sort?
I will be able to answer that for you. I know Hurley comes out and does a lot of this work for us. I would assume that unless it was something involving grease, like a product that we are putting into the pump causing the problems, that they would come out and service any sort of mechanical or electrical issues that were involved in the installation and stand behind their work.
Yeah,
But our biggest concern there is the grease that comes out of what used to be the boat, but now will mainly just be the visitor center itself. The grease is really hard on those pumps, and that was the real cause of these pumps failing in the
Can
years past.
you putting grease into the system?
It was from the grease traps from the restaurants not being emptied out often enough, and the grease traps would overflow and then get pumped into the wastewater system. That grease would then plug
We
up
need
the systems.
Stapa is then emptying their grease traps, and that's something that I don't know. I mean, it might not be in their lease currently, but if we ever go to renew it, we need to look at adding something like that.
I think it's a great idea, Carrie. I also feel confident in Ixtapa's ability to run a professional business and keep good care of their facilities. Their facilities, both Hood River and the Dalles, have never had any issues that I know of. And so I feel confident that having a good team of restaurateurs in there will help us with the longevity of our equipment.
Yeah, I think it'd be helpful if we just asked Exatapa casually, what's their grease mitigation process?
Yeah, for sure.
You
Yeah.
just follow occasionally to
Absolutely.
being followed.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
I'll also point out that you will see in next year's budget an additional $40,000 that has been put aside for potential pump replacements elsewhere in the park. So if you see it here and then you see another 40,000 for pumps as you're going through your budget, I understand that those are different pumps. We typically put anywhere between $10,000 and $15,000 aside every year to do work on these pumps. So rather than putting another 10 or 15 aside to work on those pumps, we're going to consider replacing them as well. So the money is in your budget for the pumps that are out. Where are those ones out, Park?
Our main one being our irrigation pump that's on Thunder Island. And it is extremely old. I think it's as old as the first one that was ever installed there. That's the same pump. And it's shown signs of being overworked.
To give a geographical location of these pumps, so I guess there's one over by the marina. There's one over by that kind of building structure that's by the boat ramp up on the hill. Is that one of the other ones, or is that city owned?
That is city owned. That's not ours. That's owned by city wastewater.
Okay, and then the one on Thunder Island is by that little reservoir on the south side.
Correct. Yeah. If you were to take you cross the island and you take a left before going up to the wedding sites, you just to take a left down there, that leads you to the little pump house right there.
Yeah, I have no problem with ordering these pumps in a timely manner.
If we could get a motion.
I'd feel comfortable if the motion had like a dependency on making sure there was a some kind of warranty in place for the pumps from the seller.
Yeah, we can do that.
Yeah.
So like a motion to purchase them with the dependent on a warranty existing or something like that.
I mean, in my personal experience, like I ordered a backflow valve for the HOA sprinkler system, and generally those kind of parts, I don't know what it's like at an industrial or commercial level, but those semi-commercial equipment, they're usually like 3 to 5 years, sometimes 10 years if it's like
Yeah.
So
And that's fine. I just don't want it to have no warranty,
Yeah. No, there will
If
absolutely be.
But it immediately fails, we need to make sure we're protected.
Yes, Carrie, I agree. And we can make sure that happens.
Okay.
I'd like to say that I'm grateful for Hurley offering to give us temporary assistance.
Yeah.
How did we come about with Hurley? Is that who we've worked with before, or
I inherited Hurley from Todd Moore, our maintenance manager, and we've had intermittent issues with those pumps and the grease. It sounds like about once a year at least, maybe every other year once the boat or the restaurant quit running there. And Todd utilized Hurley because they could come out in a timely manner. They're based out of Seattle, but they've given us faster service and have been here when they said they're going to be here more than anyone else. And so I understand that's why we've gone with them. And
Thank you.
I'll continue to use them because they've been that way for myself.
All right, well, I'd entertain a motion if somebody wants to put a motion out there.
I make a motion to approve the procurement of
Purchase.
the purchase of 2 sewer lift stations and the scope of work from Hurley Engineering not to exceed $40,492, and also a reasonable included warranty plan.
I
I'll
second.
Okay.
All right, I hear a motion and a second. All those in favor?
Aye.
Aye. All those opposed? All right, motion.
Carrie Ann. Thank you. Carrie Ann, did you get the seconds
Thank
on
you.
that? Did you get? You're on mute. I just want to make sure you got the second.
Rob and Pam.
Yeah, I saw Albert. Is it gonna be Pam?
It doesn't matter. I think either way, and they both seconded it at the same time.
Okay,
Well, let's choose one then.
thank you. We can choose, we'll choose whoever you have is who we'll choose.
Okay, I have Albert.
Thank you, everybody.
All right.
Thank you.
I think we're good to adjourn for the day. Everybody enjoy your weekend.
Sunshine and gambling tonight at the PTO.
Yeah.
See you
Guys,
there.
Everybody.
Night.
Good night.
Bye.